Welcome to the new episode of Winning the Journey Within podcast. From the bright lights of women's EuroLeague courts, while representing her nation with pride, Stella Kaltsidou lived the dream that every basketball player chases. But her greatest triumph? Starting over. Trading her jersey for a clipboard, Stella began at the bottom of the coaching ladder. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. A EuroCup championship and a testament to the power of reinvention. And she's still at her beginnings. These accolades are just glimpses of a journey that proves excellence isn't just about reaching the top. It's about having the courage to climb again. You're gonna love our conversation. Well, Stella, welcome. Welcome to my podcast, Winning the Journey Within. Thank you for accepting my invitation. And I hope it doesn't feel too weird.
It does, but we'll get better. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we were teammates once upon a time.
We were.
It was one of those seasons that you kind of want to forget that I kind of wanted to forget.
Not because of you and not because of me, I hope.
No. This relationship has been great. This friendship's been great, and I'm so grateful to have you here and to talk about your journey. So I'm going to ask you the first question that I normally ask all of my guests, and that's, who is Stella outside of basketball?
Well, when you told me about this question, I was shocked, as you remember. My first thought was that this is a really hard question to answer. But you know, like, I really slept on it, like we said. And finally, I can't really make a difference because basketball really shaped me. Of course, except a former basketball player, I have also another part of the life, like I'm the daughter of my parents, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I have one niece and one nephew, I am a dog parent, I am a friend, but I think that basketball really created my personality. I'm in the basketball world since I remember myself, and I think my character is still being building from this on the way it is. Of course, my parents, I'm lucky to grow up and be raised without missing anything, with a lot of love. And of course, this is the base, but I think basketball really taught me a lot of things, learned me how to be a good friend, how to listen, how to cooperate, teach me values that I don't know if I would have the opportunity to build so early in my life if I wouldn't be on the basketball world. So
nice, really nice. How early? When did you start playing? How did that begin?
Early. First time I touched the basketball was when I was 9 years old. So until that moment I was just trying to see what else can I do, what do I like, but as soon as I touched the basketball I was like, okay, that's it. So it was, love on first sight. So since then, I dropped the ball when I was 35. So it was been a long journey, but amazing memories. Like, I have only good things to remember, even if it was a lot of hard moments, because you know very well that in sports and when you do professional sports, usually the bad moments are more. But you always remember the good ones, and this is what's in my mind.
Yeah. What I think it's really beautiful in your case is that you are building a new relationship with basketball, from being a player and all those years that you've given to basketball as a player. Now maybe it's also kind of a reward, and you are transferring into the coaching aspect of the game, but we'll get back to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you now, like, this road of yours of player in Greece, then leaving the Greece, you went to France, you played in France for a very long time, and then like a few other countries in between, and a comeback here in Greece. Can you just share a little bit of that road of yours, and tell me how it felt for you?
Yeah, well, when I started playing, I never had in my mind that I will become a professional basketball player who will be able at one moment live from this and have it like as my main job. It was more like a hobby to me. It was something I like to do. I was being told I was good at it. So, I was just playing basketball as well at the same time with other things. Okay, I finished the school, I went to the university, finished my studies, but then it happened that I met on this journey two coaches, Misas and Dikeoulakos, who could see in me, who could see actually my future before it happens. And they really pushed me and made me understand that I have a great opportunity and I really need to try to go for it. So it was a moment, maybe in 2006, I remember, that I really changed my mind, because just before that, on 2004, on the Olympic Games, I was called on the national team, but I had an issue with my back, so I had to make a surgery. I came back, I was ready for the preparation of the team for the Olympic Games, but unfortunately I was cut. And what actually hurt me, it wasn't that, okay, I was one of the youngest, so of course I would be, one of those that wouldn't make the team, but I didn't like the way it happened, because in my opinion, what I have been told wasn't the reality. And it was something that really hurt me at the moment, and I was mad against basketball. So at that moment I was like, okay, I will just do it for fun, I will just try to look something different, until these coaches arrive on my way and I make this click in my head. So I'm like, okay, I want to give it a try. I will try to work on my body and on my mind and try to look how it is away from Greece. I wanted to go somewhere outside to play, but because I'm someone who, when I do something, I want to do it the best way I can. I was like, okay, if I go, I don't go just for the experience that you see, I go to try to stay there and become one of the best. Or at least to be one of the best Stella that ever existed. I want to reach my top level. Awesome. And this is how it all started. Like, I started working individually with strength and conditioning coach, basketball. It was all about basketball from 2007 until 2009. I really transformed as a player during this period. Like, I got stronger basketball wise, I was so much better. Until 2009, Bulls arrives, friends, and the journey begins. So I was feeling ready mentally also, because before thinking that I will leave Greece, leave my family, my friends, my life, go in a country that I know nobody, I know don't know the language. At the beginning it was feeling scary, but the more I was working on it, I was like, okay, let's see, it's a challenge. I like challenges, so yeah, that's how it started.
That's kind of awesome, just because before, like 10 minutes ago, we were talking and you were like, I'm not one of those that had some, mental issues or some things to talk about, and you just told me something so awesome. You had somebody take away something so important from you, and they hurt you actually, and these two guys came and literally saved the day, and they pushed you and helped you become who you've become.
Yeah, I never thought about it like this, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's going on the first answer about who I am. I think it's one of these things that being on a team sport really teaches you to survive, actually. And since I remember myself, like, I remember when I was 13, 14 years old, we would live with, these groups of the national team. I was living on the north of Greece, so we would leave to come here in Athens for a few days of training camp, or go somewhere abroad to play games with the under 14 national team. So at this age and at that moment, like back then, 25 years ago, it wasn't it wasn't easy because we didn't have the connection now that we have with internet and phone numbers and telephones and mobiles. So, you know, it was like you really needed to find a way to become tough in order to survive. I think basketball really taught me this. So what happened back then on 2004 really made me mad. But on the other side, I'm someone who never gives up, you know. So yeah, I never thought about it the way you said it. That's why I told you I don't have a really special story to say. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do afterwards.
Yeah, I like that. I like that so much. And especially, do you think that these experiences, especially so early on, shaped you in a way who you want to be as a coach to these athletes that you are encountering right now?
I think everything I have experienced in my life inside basketball till now, I think all of the experience shaped me, you know, like everything that I have experienced as a player, the good moments, the bad moments, with all the coaches I have worked with, because, you know, I have coaches that I took a lot of good examples, but I also work with coaches that I'm, you know, thinking back, I'm like, I don't want to ever be like this as a coach. If I ever be a coach, I don't want to be like this. So I think I learned everything to make it a positive experience. Even if it's something hard, I was always trying to see what can I learn from this so I can become better. So every time I'm trying to use everything that happens into a lesson for me. So yeah, I use everything, how to become a good coach. I'm still learning, of course, it's too early. I have a long way to go, a lot of mistakes to do, and hopefully when I will do them, I will learn from them and become better.
And going back to France, so you went there and it was the top level of basketball back then. It was EuroLeague team. You played a lot. You were having great years over there, and you also had 2 injuries, one after another. Mm-hmm. Can you share a little bit about that process for you?
Yeah, it was a great and a tough period at the same moment. Like you said, it was France is still one of the top levels in women's basketball. So it was great for me being there, having a really main role in the team, playing a lot. But okay, this is the life of professional basketball players. Injuries are a part of it. So I got injured in on practice. First time, right knee. It was hard because I didn't know what to expect. So everything in front of me was unknown, and that made me feel really insecure about, and now what is going to happen, how I'm going to do this. I was away, so from Greece I had to deal with also things of where am I going to have the surgery, how am I going to get through this. I was understanding the language, but I wasn't speaking well. So it was a lot of things I had to, you know, like organize. And because as a person I'm someone who likes to know, you know, like what is happening, have a plan, organize. It was tough, but I was like, okay, you know, I'm not the first one, I'm not the last player who gets injured. I will try to find the best way to get through this, and, you know, like it's a big thing for a player to have an ACL injury. But, you know, when I went to the rehabilitation center in France and I saw what other people are going through, I was like, that's nothing. Like, don't complain. Be, you know, like, feel lucky enough that it's only this. You are going to be back playing in 6-8 months, a year, it doesn't matter. Other people were struggling to walk, you know, like, so I was like, that was also like an experience that it really made me appreciate the things that we consider for granted, because I saw a lot of real problems, real life problems. So yeah, first time was hard. I came back, and exactly a year later, the other knee. So, you know, at this moment I was like, as soon as I got injured, I knew it was broken. So I was like, oh damn, not again. That was my first reaction, you know, like now again, everything from the beginning. But I was really cool on the second one. I was more stressed about how am I going to calm the people around me, you know, about, you know, like my parents. I knew they were so upset because they really wanted to be with me. They came from Greece in France. They stayed with me for like a month, be with me in the surgery and then a rehabilitation center. It was, you know, a really tough process for them as well. And the fact that I had to support them now, I was like, okay. But it was interesting, but I was like on the other side, I was like, okay, this is a part of our life. We need to deal with injuries. It happens, it's sad, it's hard, but we will come back, you know? So I was like, okay, my target was how can I come back as a better player than what I was before, you know? And how am I going to use this time of rehabilitation to improve my weaknesses that I didn't make the time to do before. And I feel like I did. I came back both times better player than I was before I got injured, and that makes me feel, you know, like proud of myself. So yeah,
that's a great mindset to have in those moments.
I mean, what's the other option, Nima? Like, you can just be, you know, go hide somewhere and, you know, cry and be like, no, my career is over. No, but now it's so common. You know, like these kind of injuries are so common. Almost every athlete passed once, at least once in their time, a big injury. You know, like you need to deal with it. If I don't know, yeah.
How important is the support system that you have? Counting on your coaches and the team, obviously the physios and the trainers that you're working with, and now we see also including the mental coaches and psychologists. How important is this? And I think in your case, like Bush was very good to you. Like they respected your contract. You stayed for another year. Like that's really good to have. Like that kind of team backing you up.
It was. It's really important. It's really important to feel that you have people that, you know, they don't give up on you and they don't treat you like, okay, you are done, you know, on this way. Before my first injury, actually, I had already renew my contract with Bulls, so it was great because I knew that I can come back, you know, and enter again the team. So I was trying as much as possible to be close with them. So this is how it went. I came back, okay, I got injured again, and actually on my way back from the second injury, when I was ready, I signed as a medical joker in Bulls again after the second injury. And it was the sad, let's say, part of the story is that first time I got injured, I got injured just before the Final Four of the EuroLeague. And when I came back as a medical joker, I really helped the team qualify to the Final Four, but then my contract was over because the player I was replacing, she came back. And the sad part is that even if they could sign me as well, they didn't. You know, so I was like, damn, I lose again the Final Four, you know, like I really wanted to play on a EuroLeague Final Four, but okay, it is what it is, you know, but it's great. The physio we had, like, she was amazing, like she helped me more than anyone. Doctors that I really, you know, like she really helped me find the best doctors there, and my relationship was great with them. Even people on the rehabilitation center that, you know, I was a foreigner, I wasn't speaking well French, so they were really trying and they couldn't speak English, so you can understand it was a difficulty in communication, but still they were so kind that they made everything easier. So it's really, really important to have people around you to support you, I think.
For sure. And let's compare a little bit more, like playing-wise, you also played in Turkey, you came back in Greece for a season, and you went to Poland.
Exactly.
Did I miss something?
No.
Yeah.
No,
so
that's it.
Can you compare a little bit experiences between these countries?
These countries, yes. Well, okay, obviously I stayed in France total like 7 years, so you can understand I really loved it. I liked everything, like the culture, the basketball level, everything was great for me. I went in Turkey. It was my first year playing after my second injury, actually. Personally, it's not the style of basketball that I like. You know, for me, Turkey champions, even if now it's different than it used to be before, it's much more competitive now. But for me, it was more an individual sport than a team sport. And I was never this kind of player. I really like to perform through the team. You know, like I was really someone who liked, you know, to help my teammates, to play team basketball, to enjoy, have fun. I couldn't find this in Turkey at the team that I was playing. So it was also an experience for me because I could just, you know, ask to leave, but I was like, okay, I need to figure it out, you know, like I will not like it in every team that I will be, you know, so I need to be able to adjust. So I needed to find a way and find what I can do to use this period, you know, like while I was there to get better. So after I came back in Greece, it was, as you remember, a project that looked really, really good. And we did have an amazing roster for Greece. But unfortunately, without chemistry, nothing happens in any team. So it was an interesting experience coming back. Not a successful one, but also an experience that gave me lessons. And then going to Poland to finish actually my career, I can say it was one of the best seasons I ever had. It was so interesting. I went there, we had amazing players, like if you could see one by one, like great players, great Temi Fakbenle, Tiffany Hayes, Joe Lidam, like we had an amazing team. And we started the season so bad, like we were losing by 30 in EuroLeague, by 30. And we were just like, okay, ladies, we can't go on like this, you know. So it was great because even if we were a lot of experienced players, a lot of players that wanted to be main players, we had such a good chemistry. Like we sit down, we talk between us, then we ask the coach to talk and see how we can all find a solution. And the moment that we started to figure it out, like we had the best season for the club, you know, and it was great because I enjoyed so much, you know, playing for this team. I had a great time basketball-wise. Was enjoying every practice. Maybe, you know, it was also because it was the time I started to feel that, okay, maybe it's going to be my last season, because I could see that I couldn't keep my body in shape to be on the level I want to be. And for me, basketball was either I play on the highest level or I don't play at all. Like there is no between, because I'm so competitive that I can't just, you know, like middle, no. So yeah, I don't know if it was also because I had it in mind. I really enjoyed every moment of it. And I was lucky because just after COVID arrived, I was like, okay, imagine if I didn't stop and I would have to stop because of COVID. So I think it just fell in time on the right place, you know, like.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And let's shed a light on your Greek national team career. It was awesome. You had great performances. You went to 2 World Cups, right?
Exactly.
And how many European baskets? Maybe 3, 4?
7, 9, 11 and 13 I was injured. 15, 17, 4.
4, yeah.
4.
Talk to me about it. I know as a
God.
Greek you are so proud to play for your national team, and I remember playing against you. It was never
Yeah, it's always hard for everyone to play against us, that's true. I mean, that's the most amazing part, I think, for any athlete, you know, like to have the honor to put the jersey and, you know, like play for their own country, represent a nation, you know, because it's not about you anymore, it's not about your club, it's about your nation, you know. And the fact that you represent them. For me, you don't represent them only stepping on the court. You represent them from the moment you are wearing the t-shirt, you know, while you're traveling, while you're at the hotel, while you are talking to people around you. You know, you are not. I wasn't Stella. I was Greek. So I needed, in my mind, I was like, this is what we represent. You know, like if we are kind, if we are, you know, our hospitality, our kindness, our temper, you know, like everything. And as soon as we were stepping on the court, we're like a nation with passion, you know, like with a lot of heart, with, you know, like a really strong temper. So it was always, we would always play more than our skill level. I think that was what helped us achieve also things, because if we were, our level was 5, we were playing for 10. Mm-hmm. Just because we were so passionate. But I was lucky because I was in a generation at the moment that we meet some players a little bit older than us, and the younger that came, we made a really good group. You know, we had a very good dynamic, and there was a lot of respect. And because also like we weren't that far by age, we could become also friends. And I think this is what helped us succeed. We had such a good relationship, we had such a great time, and 2017 was the peak. And it was the peak because when we went to the Eurobasket, we didn't have any expectation. We were like, we play Russia, Serbia, and who else we played? Slovenia in the group. Who would expect that we would win Serbia with a full team, full roster, or Russia? Like, and we won them. We lost from Slovenia that we suppose, it was the game we supposed to win. And then continue beating Turkey by 30 points. It was crazy, it was insane. So yeah, it was like 20 years of my life that I would do it all over again. You know, I would never think to skip the national team, you know, because it was, we're like, okay, we'll see each other, we'll have a great time, okay, let's go. So yeah, amazing honor, just this.
And since we are in this moment, this is post Eurobasket 2025, how did you feel the national team playing, and how did you feel this hosting the whole event of Eurobasket here in Greece?
I think the hosting was great. I think it was a very successful organization because it's the first time we take this kind of an organization as a country, and I really believe everybody did an amazing job, especially considering the fact that Greece was not on the final round. Watching, like having this kind of games with so many people come to watch, like 8,000 people were at the gym the other day, I think this is huge. I just hope that it will be something that, our country is going to use on the best way to promote the basketball in our country, and, just not just let it fade away, But to be honest, the Greek national team, I didn't have the chance to watch them a lot because usually we were playing almost at the same time. I watched them later, I watched a couple of games later. I could see what the characteristic of the national team, I could see the passion, the passion was there, the willing was there, the desire was there. It's always the same problem in the national team, we don't have a depth on the roster, we don't have 12 players equal who can play at any moment on the highest level. Something that unfortunately for us the other countries have, because the league on the other countries is so much in a higher level than here. But the girls gave their best, and I think at the end of the day this is what matters the most.
Okay, let's go back to you a little bit. When did you know that you were going to be a coach, that you wanted to take that role after basketball?
If you would ask me 10 years ago, I would tell you there is no way to become a coach, no way. No, I started to think about it my last season in Poland. And I started to think about it because I catch myself thinking the game differently and like seeing the game differently, trying to think more about tactic and solutions and, you know, like trying to analyze it more, which as a player didn't help because I was overthinking while I was playing, and I was like, okay, no, you need to stop doing this. But this is where it started to come in my mind a lot. I was like, okay, maybe I can try, you know, like I already had my diploma from the university, I could be a basketball coach. But this is where I started to really think about it. I had also an assistant coach. I asked him, I was like, okay, can you help me? Can you show me how do you do scouting? Like how does this software work and how do you build it? Like what do you see? So he told me some things, and my free time at home, I was really trying to learn and fill some tasks. I was asking me, I was like, okay, ask me to do something. And, you know, like, tell me, what do you think? What can I do better? And, you know, I started then watching a lot of games, trying to watch it not as a player, but try to analyze some things, what they are doing, where does this player go, left, right, what he likes to do, how I would stop this player if I was, you know, like the opponent coach. Yeah. And I was like, okay, you know what, I will give it a try. And I will see, you know, maybe I'm good and I can do it, but maybe I'm not good. So, okay, I will do something else. And I don't know. This is how it started. Yeah. And I like it. I enjoy it a lot, actually.
I can tell. Yeah. I can tell. But you were always also one of those players with a high IQ while you were playing. And I feel like you were always giving that extra, you know, even you were skilled and you could do many things on the court. You also had a high IQ and helping, I guess, the team on the court in that way too. So your first steps as a coach, was it the Slovenian national team?
So my first time as a coach was as an assistant in a men's team in Greece here, Marousi, which I couldn't finish the season because I had a personal issue. My father got sick, so I had to go back home. And then I took over, my first time as a head coach, I took over a women's team here in Athens. FAOs was the name. They just came on the first division, so it was my first year as a head coach. Then assistant coach in Olympiacos, and then assistant coach Slovenia national team.
I skipped you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You. But yeah, it was interesting, you know, like I started from men, and for me it was great because, you know, I could hear a lot of people saying, you know, like men and women, so different to coach them. And, you know, everybody maybe would think that men would treat me on a different way, which I was like, not even for 1 second, you know, like no, everybody, all the players, like I had a great relationship with all of them, I still do, like, and that's great because I was there just for, I don't know, like 3 months. I still have a great relationship with all the players, a lot of respect, you know, like exactly the same way I treat them, the same way I treat the women players, and they would treat me exactly the same way with the men coaches, you know, so for me it was great experience. Then, yeah, like first time as a head coach with a group of players who they all played on the second division and they all stayed on the first division. Also like crazy because I was learning with them. I had to try things, I needed to adjust. I was coming from a level of playing which was really high, like EuroLeague. So I had to adjust, you know, on a lower level, but I was so proud of these girls, like they were trying so much, and even if there were so many new things, like they would look at me like I'm out of space or something, but still like, and they improved, and the best part for me was they enjoyed so much. So for me that was the best thing. And yeah, Slovenia, I mean, okay, with George.
Did you have a mentor in those few years?
So George Dikeoulakos, when I was head coach in Zographou, he came to watch few games, and so we started talking. I was starting asking him, okay, you know, like how can I do this better? How can I do this better? How can I work on this? You know, like so I can take some tips. And he came to see me to watch some games a couple of times, and he gave me, you know, like some tips, let's say. Until one day he calls me and he's like, hey, okay, I'm going to take over the national team of Slovenia. Do you want to be my assistant? I was like, yesterday, not today, yesterday. So, you know, this is how it started. And
it's amazing that it's the same guy from the beginning of your story.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing, you know, that
he saw your worth as a player and
exactly.
He saw your worth
he
as a
saw
coach.
something in me once, and now he sees something in me second time, but from a different position, you know. And I really appreciate because he was there, he is there every step on the way. Every time, you know, like I need something, every time like I feel like, okay, I need someone to tell me something to see which way to go. I know, you know, like I can call him every time and he can help me with everything. And for me, he is my mentor, you know, like even if, okay, it's not, like I'm not going to talk to him every day, but I know that when I feel like I'm on a way out, you know, he will help me to find, you know, how to go around, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I believe it's super, super important to have a person, you know, supporting you and help you, you know, on the first steps, you know, just be there and help figure it out.
Definitely. And so you know a part as an assistant coach, and now you know a part as a first coach. You coached the London Lions. Mm-hmm. You won the EuroCup with them, and so can you compare those experiences as an assistant coach and as a head coach? How do you manage yourself and the situation?
Oh, it's so different, so different. You know, as an assistant coach, first of all, you don't have this pressure. You know, all the pressure is on the head coach. As an assistant coach, you just need, okay, to work a lot on what the head coach wants, to work a lot on, you know, like be fast on reading the players and, you know, like catching anything that might happen before it happens. Mm-hmm. So that means that you need to have a very good relationship with the players, something that the head coach should have, but not, you know, like head coach will never be like friend with the players. But as a head coach, you need to handle 12 players plus the staff plus the management. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot of things, and that's the hardest part. The easiest part for the head coach is to find what the team will play, how we will play, plan the practices, the games, you know, like that's the easy part. The hardest part is how you handle all these people. As an assistant coach, you don't have to do this, okay? You need to be there to be supportive, but you are not the one who need to handle everybody. And that was something I had to deal with London, and there was a moment that I was feeling that it's going out of my control, you know? So it was a moment that I needed George to help
intervene.
Me, and tell me, okay, how am I dealing with this, you know? So anyway, it's just, you know, like one of the things that I told you, like you learn, you try something, you see that maybe it's working, maybe it doesn't work. I believe not everything works with every team, you know, and you make mistakes, and then you're like, okay, that was not the right thing to do. I need to find something different. And London was, for me, one of the best experiences in my life, because even if we arrive on a point to win the EuroCup, and we are a group that we are still active on WhatsApp. I will tell you this. You know how it is. You know, every year, every team has a WhatsApp group.
Yeah, Mima left the group.
We are still talking, all of us, not just one person or two persons. We are still there, talking about anything that can happen, something that might remind us our season, or because someone got injured and everybody's, you know, like going there to see what's going on. That's so rare, you know, but it wasn't like this all, you know, like all the way through. It was hard. There was a moment that it was, you know, it was pretty intense. We had, you know, like to break down and then, okay, try to rebuild it. And I think that made us really like strong and tough group. We found, you know, like this balance between us. We get really, really connected, and that's, for me, that's the secret. You know, when you are really connected with your group, like success will come, you know, and even if it doesn't come, it will not be because you didn't try enough, it will be because the other one was better. Okay, it can happen, but it was great, a season to remember.
Yeah. What are some aspects of you being a player that you find the most valuable as a coach now?
I don't know if I can say specific things, but for me this is I feel like this is my biggest advantage as a coach, because I have been there, I have played a lot of time on the highest level, so I say this to myself often. I don't want to forget how I felt while I was a player, you know, like what I needed from my teammates, what I needed from my assistant coaches, from my head coach, how I was feeling after a good game, after a bad game, what did I need when I was really tired, how I will come back from a day off, how I will come back from a break with the national team if it went bad or if it went good, you know, like really trying to keep all these memories alive, because I have seen that it really helps me understand things, see things, and, you know, like catch them before they happen. You know, I can know when a player is really trying or is pretending to try, because I have done all this in the past, you know, like it's just trying to use everything in order to me become a better coach, but also to help the players become better, you know. And I feel the fact that they know that I know it, that I know, you know, how it is to be you, to be on your position. I think it helps them as well, you know, because they don't feel distant from me. And I think it's important, you know, it's important because the respect is there, but it's not, you know, like the distance not chaotic, which is, it's good, because like this we can connect easier.
And obviously this is something that you also want to do with Athinaikos, as you know, the team that you've made is pretty impressive. And how do you go into the season now? What kind of thinking, mindset, plans, goals, something that you can share?
The plan is to, you know, like, for me the goal is to become the best team that we can become, you know, like I chose these players, I made this group, we chose them one by one, because I believe it's not only the skill level, it's, for me, it's about the personality, you know, like, and I really want every time on my teams to have players that fit my philosophy, which is that the team is beyond everyone. And because I feel like every time your goal is how you will help the team win, this is, you know, like when the time that you put your ego under, and this is where everyone becomes better.
Exactly.
Because, you know, like if you just care about how you will prove yourself without caring what the rest are doing, it's not a team sport. So this is what I want to really pass to, the message I want to pass to the team. This is the culture actually that I want to build, you know, like since day one, have some standards as a team, you know, and work through this direction. And okay, it's not going to be easy because we will have a full roster, so that means many more people to handle. It will have, you know, like ups and downs, of course, for sure, but the thing is, how are we getting through this? because not everything is going to be great since day one. But I believe that I'm really optimistic that like it will be a very good group. They will really fit with each other, and I have a really big trust also on my staff, on my team around me, the coaching staff and the people around the team. And I believe everybody will be a really important piece in order for the team to succeed the goals, which is as I said, be the best we can be and play the best we can play.
Awesome. That's what I wish for you for future and for this season too. And I'm going to conclude the episode and ask you one question. Can you tell me, what does winning the journey within mean to you?
I would say what it means to me is that if you feel good with yourself, no matter what's happening around, no matter what people say, no matter what is the condition, if you at the end of the day feel good with yourself, feel proud for yourself, and you are calm and you feel like, okay, this is me, I'm good with who I am, I have done my best, I didn't hurt anyone on purpose, because it will happen by accident, but I have been the best version of me today, and I can go to sleep in peace. I think that doing this day after day after day and put your kindness in the world, I think that's how you win the journey. So
awesome. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was nice.
I appreciate you so much and sharing the wisdom from being a player to being a coach and to being a person that you are, because I truly love you as a friend and as a person.
My Mima. Thank you.
Jovanovic.